Welcome back to the channel. Today I will be installing a SR20det water neck spacer. It's more of a sandwich plate than a spacer, but the point of it is to add an additional hole. In my case, I'm going to use it for a water temp sensor. I've heard of other people using it for other situations, but I will be using it as the main purpose that I know a lot of people use, which is for water temp sensor. In this case, for my gauge. This is a S13 red top SR20det. It should be almost the same on other versions of this engine, but use this as reference and check your model just in case and see if everything is okay. I will be using a Gktech kit. I will be unboxing this in this video. You're gonna need your spacer kit, any brand you like. They're almost all the same. I've seen it from other brands. I will be using Gktech as most of my other parts. I recommend these for install. Ultra gray for a gasket maker, a plastic scraper. Now you don't need to use a plastic scraper. I just prefer this to avoid scoring or damaging the surface and making it worse. But you don't have to use this. You can just use a regular metal scraper and a 10mm socket. I will be using an extension because I have very little space in between my power steering pump and that bottom bolt right there. So to install this, what you're gonna do is just remove your old one. You're gonna remove this dipstick bolt so you can move it out of the way. Remove these 3 bolts. There's 2 on top, 1 on the bottom, and there's an additional one. Let me see if I can get it in view. There you go. There's 1 more on the bottom right there. So you're gonna remove those 4 bolts, clean up the surface, and then add a gasket. Follow your gasket maker's instruction and install a new one. Let's start. To undo your upper cooling neck, first you're going to remove this dipstick bolt. That way you can remove this carefully out of the way, and you're going to remove 3 bolts on the block for this side. There's 1 on the bottom here. And afterwards, there's a lower bolt down here. Like I said, I'm gonna be using an extension because my power steering pump is in the way. If you're wondering why you will need this, or if you need it and how does it work, this is the spacer. It adds a 1/8 NPT hole for any use you might need. In most cases, it's for a temp gauge. Some people use it as a way of getting water for the turbo, any other reason, but I will be using it for temp sensor. The way it works is it sandwiches between your block and your coolant neck this way. And that's it. Pretty simple way of solving a problem. Other people retread this. I will not be doing that because I will be using this for my swirl pot. You'll see that in a future video, but for the moment, I will be installing this just to show you how it works. Let's go. If you've seen my previous videos, you know I'm really bad at making gaskets, so this is one of those do as I say, not as I do situations. I use Ultra Gray from Permatex, and the recommendation or instructions is to have a continuous bead around the whole area, even around the bolt holes. Now, I'm not really good at that, but you saw just kind of an idea. After you install this, you're just gonna hand tighten these bolts. I had a little bit of a setback with the added thickness of the spacer. My socket wrench did not fit with the power steering pump, so I had to loosen the power steering pump to get that additional space. You hand tighten them, and after an hour, you come in and torque them to appropriate spec. And that is the recommendation from my gasket maker. You're gonna follow yours. So I'm gonna leave that drying while I work on other things, and I'll come back to torque it.
1 hour later.
And that is how you install the water neck spacer. Now you have one additional MPT hole for any sensor or any water line you like. If you have any recommendations, any comments, don't remember to subscribe, like, and comment. Thanks for watching.